Hold on. Yeah, utility car, I think, is the MVP in kills right now, which shows you the power of the utility car. This is, I believe, the final game of the day. We have KOES, aka Tiramisu, as the Americans, doing very well last game with an aggressive push in the first game. But Quiritz coming back as the Brits in the second game, going toe-to-toe with KOES and slowly driving it back until whereas KOES surrendered voluntarily, even though he still had a major army left. So, we'll see how this game goes. We are on Crossroads. Again, a classic. Quiritz and KOES. Austere American. We'll see how things go. Thank you, Little Kimbo, for the host, by the way. I can see it pop up. It's not going to pop up in this screen just because, not to interrupt the flow of the game, but I will give you, once again, another shout out at the end. But thank you so very much for the follow. Guys, make sure you go follow Little Kimbo if you have not done so already. Anyway, rear echelon's grabbing the south. We have a point captured by Rifleman, another Rifleman development. Again, Quiritz going with the Grenadier, Pioneer, and MG. Very curious to see how things are going there. Anyway. Right now, they're currently maneuvering. Let's see, he's going a little bit harder on the left, whereas KOES is going right, except for one Rifleman squad going over here. Okay, another Grenadier squad coming on in. Kimbo Mad Sites quiz knows both interesting to see them face Rust Nest. Okay. Yes, very interesting indeed. Anyway, we'll see how things go. MG down the cap, Pioneers moving on in. Capture the victory point. Oh, wait, Rifleman coming up with the clutch, saying, sorry, Quiritz, you are not getting this point, but Grenadiers are right there. Maybe they get some... Oh, no, he just got a negative cover. I was going to say, pop some shots while he's on the negative cover on the road. Grenadiers now in no cover, and even though he's got a ton of resources, now none of them are going to go to his base. Very aggressive American play, and we saw KOES do that before. Very good use to stop those resources. Even for a few seconds, stopping Quiritz getting those is imperative. Meanwhile, he's staying cozy in his base with a healthy amount of munitions and fuel coming on in. Double Rifleman right now in mid. Grenadiers and Rifleman both missing a model. Pioneers coming in to assist as well. Very close to each other, but the brush is keeping them both at bay. Pioneers moving in for the heavy cover. Will actually do quite a bit close range. Does need some Grenadier support. Grenadiers staying back for the most part, now just moving on in. Although, did its work. Pioneers did bring the Grenadiers down quite a bit. MG being stepped, that's what he was probably waiting for. He probably didn't mean to get in that battle. Meanwhile, on left, Rifleman going in for the fuel cutoff. Again, extremely aggressive play by KOES, but it's doing work. Additional Grenadier squad coming on in to try to assist. Rifleman as well going for the decap at that point. Right now, it's dead even. One for KOES, one for Quiritz, and one for neutrality, but that's slowly being switched over to the austere. Anyway, Grenadier and MG moving on in, but again, you have to worry about this Rifleman coming along the flank. I wonder if this MG is going to be wary of that. Looks like he is. As long as he has sight, he should be okay. Does go for the cap and does pull out just in case the MG tries to go for suppression. Grenadiers get in the building to fire some pop shots. 3 models currently firing at the Rifleman. Looks like he'll do some serious damage. Maybe kill a model before he gets in. Additionally, Grenadier squad capping the point on the right, and then Pioneers going over here. Does he have battle phase 1? He's going for it. KOES, meanwhile, is going for the Lieutenant. Last game, we saw him go for the M20 and the Stewart, which was the big issue for Quiritz. He's going to need to counter that somehow. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he needs a way to counter it. Hopefully, he does that. Hopefully. Meanwhile, Rifleman continuing to hold that fuel, but double push with Grenadiers and Pioneers against rear echelon will drive it back. Hopefully, he can knock out the KOES's fuel, knocking that out of play. Grenadier squad pulling on back, probably going for the safer point so that way he can capture it, but doesn't have to worry about Rifleman really focusing on him, especially with a battle going on. Nice position with the MG, suppressing the infantry, though Lieutenant coming on to assist, but Grenadiers on standby, watching the MG's flanking. Some excellent shots on the Lieutenant, bringing down model and keeping it at bay while the MG moves on over. MG, though, still not close enough to get armor-piercing rounds. Probably, right now, the closest thing he has to having some form of AT. But now Quiritz knows Lieutenant's on the field. So maybe he realizes, oh no, the enemy is going to do the exact same thing he did in that first game. And that game did not last long. Rifleman going straight for the cutoff. Again, makes perfect sense. Stop the allies, or sorry, in this case, sorry, the austere, from getting the fuel, the munitions, 2 capture points. Makes perfect sense. But Panzer Grenadiers there to stop him, and the Riflemen are down a model. Down south, though. We do. Oh, man, a minefield's in play. That's going to be annoying. Although, immediately KOES like, I got minesweepers. Don't even worry about it. Does go for the decap. We'll stop it, but Panzer Grenadiers will cap that right back. Grenadiers fighting, holding off the lieutenant actually surprisingly well. Utility car on the field. Ambulance being brought out. And Quiritz. Oh, nice suppression with the MG. Force the lieutenant back. Resource-wise, it's actually looking very good for Quiritz. He has a lot more fuel, which should help him if he goes for something like a 222. Or maybe tries to uptick for a battle phase 2. Again, I don't think he will. I think he's going to try to get a pack or some type of light armor. But in this case, definitely a 222. But we'll see. The last time we went 222, it didn't work out. Maybe we'll do something else. Panzer Grenadiers trying to decap the point. He manages to do that and then retreats. Trying to get back to base. Get back into... Utility car, though, giving chase. And this was the biggest issue. Utility car chasing after units. He now has armored skirts, making him even more difficult to fight with. American forces very low on health, but keeping the Grenadiers at bay. Grenadiers, though, giving a nice flank, pushing back the riflemen. One MG moves on into the building. This hopefully will give a little bit of a safe space for Quiritz to maneuver his forces without the fear of rifleman squad coming on in. 222 in active development, but once again, KOES still could go for a Stuart, but the nice thing is, because of the fact that Quiritz went for the other fuel, and even though the other side wasn't going to anyone, or sorry, wasn't going to Quiritz, it wasn't also going to KOES, so right now he's not getting a ton of fuel right now, which is delaying that Stuart, hopefully allowing some time for them to focus on that utility car. Plus, more frontline units. I'm giving the edge to Quiritz, as he has 3 Grenadiers, and along with Panzer Grenadier. I like the Lieutenant, I do, but I think the Panzer Grenadier is way better in terms of close proximity and compared to Lieutenant. Anyway, Rifleman moving on in. And Grenadiers are slowly being upgraded. Is KOES actually upgrading his Rifleman? Are we going to see that? So far, no upgrade. Actually, big push in the south. Grenadiers moving on in. Panzer Grenadiers moving on in. Pioneers moving on in. Trying to grab as much territory as possible. I'm assuming he's trying to go for the cutoff, but the utility car is stopping him dead in his tracks. Rifleman as well in echelons, reinforcing that position to make sure they can't go for that cutoff position and keep the munitions and the other victory point under his control. 222 keeping the pressure, though, on the Rifleman. They're trying to stick there. A Rifleman and Lieutenant coming on in. Does he gain the upgrade? No, he's not getting a bazooka upgrade. Grenadiers with an MG are currently lighting up the Rifleman. Oh god, Grenadiers fire rifle grenade at that position. Removes some cover. Units falling back. Stuart about to deploy. But that being said, KOES did lose quite a bit of men. And unfortunately for him... wait, is it... Okay, his retreat path's over here, but he built it over here. Okay, he's trying to go best of both worlds. Okay. Still gonna be a little while before they get back to operational status. Did he have... Okay, he's upgrading the weapon racks. So he should have better units out shortly. Quiritz, you need to use what you got and use it quick. Because we got Stuart, we're about to have Rifleman with most likely bars on the field. It's not going to be looking good. Luckily, Quiritz does get a Pack 40, and a lot of his Grenadiers look really, really nice right now. So very good to see that. Very good to see. Rifleman staying back, does get up to Vet 1, but unfortunately I don't think he's going to be close enough to fire an AT grenade. So he's going to be forced back. Utility car forcing the Grenadiers back. He could charge, but again, 222 is right there. Initial Grenadier squad falling on back, though he could do some quick heals if he finds a, a nice spot for him. Let's see, Stuart moving on in. Oh no, Grenadiers being chased by the utility car, and the Stuart could go for the kill right now. Luckily, the cemetery is helping to block some shots, and he manages to escape. Could have been his grave, but luckily he was a good runner. And and luckily the shots all hit the stones and the hedges and everything like that. So good to see. Stones? No, god dang it, the grave sites. Anyway, Pack 40 moving on in. Luckily that drives off the Stuart. Right now, also very nicely done. We have again Quiritz taking the south, but slowly but surely KOES is slowly getting that back. But he's down slightly. He's doing a little better in terms of fuel, and he'll definitely do a lot better once he gets double fuel. But still. Overall population-wise, he's still a little lower. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Sorry, ignore me. As soon as he gets the Stuart back, he'll be probably even. Anyway, moving on from that point. Grenadiers moving on in. We saw the Rifleman in the building. Utility car providing support. MG right there. I don't know how close he is to... Oh, he's pretty close getting our piercing rounds. That could be pretty good against the... Wait. Utility car putting shots along the side. Realizing the situation of being hit by multiple angles. MG repositions. Heads back to base. Lieutenant advancing. Doesn't cut off any territory, though. Rifle grenade going out. Hits the target. Brings down to 1 model. Gets out in one piece, though, so that's very good. Good retreat, KOES. Meanwhile, positions have been kept. Actually, KOES is the one in this situation that's currently being slowly brought down via VP. So very good push by Quiritz in keeping that pressure on, what we saw before. That being said, KOES does have a 50 cal in development. Lieutenant coming on in. Pioneers have to hold this point to stop the cutoff again. 222 and Panzer Grenadiers trying to assist where he can. Stewart coming back to deal with the Grenadiers. I don't know if he'll be able to go for that point or not. Up, Lieutenant being driven back. Although another Rifleman squad coming on in. He might try to go for the cutoff. No, he's just hanging straight back in enemy lines. Stewart giving... Oh, he's going for the kill. He's going straight for the kill. Again, KOES trying to be one step ahead. Thinking long term. Why decap the point when I can try to kill a unit? Fortunately, does not get it. Unfortunately for him. In the meantime, Quiritz is starting to get a little lower in his fuel and munitions. Not too bad, and he does have a decent amount in the bank, especially fuel. Meanwhile, KOES slowly getting more fuel and munitions at every point he grabs. Plus, he's getting ever closer to a major. All right, right now, Stewart opening fire against Grenadiers, keeping himself at bay. Rifleman moving on in. Again, we have a lot of Riflemen along the left-hand side, so that could be a big left hook coming along the Austerior's flank. 222, love the slide. MG as well coming into support. MG, oh my, 50 cal coming in here. Ooh, battle of the MGs across from the buildings. Anyway, Grenadiers taking some shots from the Stewart. On the right-hand side, we have a rear echelon squad with minesweepers. They do decap the point. I think the Panzer Grenadiers will drive them back. Grenadiers, though, will grab the territory. Maybe can kill a model on the retreat? Maybe? No, he's going straight for the fuel. Okay. Yeah, just go straight for that. Left-hand side, going back to KOES. Again, continuing that aggressive push with his forward units. Again, a lot of fuel right now going to him, so that's so far working. Quiritz, on the other hand, he has yet to upgrade the Battle Phase 2, but he has a very nice suite of infantry with him as well. And actually, I think, yeah, he has slightly more. Again, he still has to worry about the Stewart. Right now, the biggest issue is the Stewart and the utility car. Great shots on the Grenadiers. Run, man, run. Good escape. He does get out of there in time. Utility car is busy trying to hold back the American forces. But again, entrenched behind two tractors next to each other. They're holding strong with the additional squad just chilling on the back. Meanwhile, mid is still under Austerior control. Lieutenant falling on back. And right now, the Grenadiers will grab the fuel, so at least they'll get those additional resources back. Pack 40 heading over to the right, slowly but surely. But again, you have to watch out with this. The utility car under some heals. But the reason why you have to watch out is because that utility car ran circles around the Pack 40 last time. Hopefully, he has some support infantry or something like that to make sure that doesn't happen again. You want to make sure your units are protected. Wait, something just got hit. Oh, mortar. Mortar's coming down, pushing back the MG. Very nice. American forces going behind the high wall. Panzer Grenadiers, I'm assuming, waiting for additional Grenadier supports, which is coming back at a really good health click. As well as Quiritz, he did upgrade the Battle Phase 2, and it looks like has a good amount of munitions on reserve, whereas KOES has been spending his, though spending them on his forces, making sure they are as beefy as possible. Wait, yes, bars looking very nice across the board and just waiting for a time to strike. He is holding the left side very well. I think he knows that right now Quiritz is going to be coming along this front, though it looks like his armor is stationed to do a right hook, so he could be trying to do as much aim as possible. Does have to worry, armor-piercing rounds are active in the meantime. I think he's doing that while he pushes. That way, if they do advance with the armor, he can at least hold them back. Plus, Pack 40 is designated over here, so he knows the armor's on that side. So, again, very good foresight on his part. Grenadiers trying to push back and are at least doing damage to the riflemen in cover and managing to grab the points. Panzer Grenadiers as well over here. Great shot with the rifle grenade, at least drives him out of that cover. Hopefully allows a nice little flank along the side. Again, right here. Grenadiers, although being hit by the 50 cal, 222, still trying to private support. Free bazooka, alrighty. Double free, oh, he got one back, but he dropped the other one. Didn't have enough hands. Luckily, Panzer Grenadier's gonna grab bazooka. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's better than a PyroShark, but in this scenario, I think a free bazooka would be a nice little addition. Grenadiers trying to grab the point. Pack 40 repositioning. Hits the high wall, not the Stewart. 222 trying to provide fire. We have a rifleman going straight for these forces. MG, though, guarding the flank. He is going around the building, though. Still suppressing over here. Armor's pushing a hard left. Could Panzerfaust, plenty of munitions, but I don't think he wants to waste the unit. He's going to try to get... Oh, great shot with the Stuart. I think that's the first major kill we've seen. Excellent hit. But that being said, oh, great mortar hit. Forces back the lieutenant. And Stuart, by the way, 8 kills. Utility car, 11 kills. Actually getting more kills than the rifleman. Hold on. Yeah, utility car, I think, is the MVP in kills right now. Which shows you the power of the utility car. Again, a lot of people ignore it, but this thing can be a beast on the battlefield when used properly as a support unit. Anyway, it's 222 taking a lot of damage. Utility car charging forward. What is going on? Trying to put shots. Sees Grenadiers, pulls on back. Pack 40 lined up for a shot. We do have some units flanking, although they're really anti-armor, not infantry, so they're not going to do all that much. Plenty of time for the MG to reposition. Most of the American forces are on left, which will allow this Grenadier squad to, you know, quietly capture the right. By the way, Quiritz went with Jaeger infantry. I've yet to really discuss that. So there's that G43 chat was talking about earlier. Great shot with the Panzer IV, pushing back both AT units. Again, even though he has the Minesweeper, we can see the bazooka team with him. So excellent hit right there. Drives them back. Utility car and Stuart quickly realizing the fuel situation, be like, no, don't go for the fuel. Luckily, he does have a Sherman, but this is a much more competent Quiritz battle. He is not going down. He's not stuck in his base. He has a Panzer IV and everything already out. So it looks like this is going to be a heck of a battle. But on the flip side, KOES does have triple VP points, even if he has less VP points overall. So he at least putting on pressure on Quiritz. He's yet to pick a commander. Very curious on that front. Very curious indeed. Look, I'm not saying you have to go Urban Assault or anything, but I'm also curious why you haven't picked anything. Yeah, also he could be trying to analyze Quiritz and be like, okay, what's Quiritz going so I can counter him? But also Quiritz hasn't necessarily gone anything that would really reveal what he's gone. Has, Quiritz, have you upgraded? I don't believe he's upgraded his men at all with the camouflage. Anyway, Stuart and utility car hang left, trying to stop that fuel once again, going back to the austere. But rifleman coming on in, Sherman with armor piercing, not explosive, armor piercing, which is not going to do as much. A bit, but not as much. Panzer Grenadiers pulling on back from the Stuart. A lot of armor over here. Pack 40 may need another, may need a friend to help deal with all this. A lot of American forces over here. Curious to see if he's able to do something. Lieutenant pushing on in. He only has 1. But he's getting closer with that additional close range. And yeah, he drives the Grenadiers back. Meanwhile, American forces doing pretty good. Panzer IV took a couple hits. Rifleman definitely down. Alright, they drove him off the VP. They are taking the middle VP. That would reveal it. Jaeger Command, also very good unit to have, especially against infantry. Panzer IV, I like his tactic. He's just going in, taking a shot, backing off before they can really do anything. And the shot, even from the bazooka, bounced. Excellent shot on the Major, driving it off. Pack 40, nicely positioned, pushing back the Stuart. Sherman's still there. Directing fire, does miss though. Gets the middle VP, and that will stop the bleed. Very close overall, 367 to 375. But we do have to look at overall resources, and Quiritz is definitely down, and KOES still has a small, ever so slightly a smaller army, but still neck and neck. Territory is going over to KOES. Again, very good map control right now. Mortar, though, I will say, is definitely helping out. 5 kills, definitely keeping all of that support equipment at bay and driving them off. Panzer IV coming in on the rifleman. Maybe gets a nice shot on the retreat. Come on. No, it's just out of range. Sherman, though, coming on in. Grenadier squad is there, so again, if the Sherman does charge, they can always Panzerfaust it. And one other thing we do have to take note, Sukhoi air support. Right now, he does not have any sort of anti-air. Quiritz may be putting a lot of faith into that. If he does have anti-air, those planes will rip apart all this light and medium armor that KOES has been building up, which he could be waiting for that perfect strike. So we'll see. Pioneer squad with the bazooka team. Why not? Luckily, Grenadiers squad's taking that point. Grenadiers moving up. I think that was a misclick. He's going back for the fuel. Sherman on standby. Panzer IV moving back over to support his comrades. Stewart having a bit of issue going after 222, but Pack 40 drives him off. Although a lot of infantry coming in, but again, anti-armor infantry, not well, not really designed versus, you know, Jaeger squad. Majors there up to veteran C1, but so far no kills. Rear echelon as well, only 1 kill. So just kind of reinforcing my point about not really killing infantry. Again, healing on the front, he's really comfortable with just healing as the battle progresses 50 feet away. Cool. Let's see. Right now, and was that another MG? I think, yeah, we have another 50 cal on the field. He might be trying to use it to lock down territory so the Grenadiers stop coming in. But Quiritz countering that even, getting himself another Panzer IV. But I'm assuming KOES is going to counter that with a Jackson. So again, it's just an ever escalation. I do think maybe KOES is a slightly better overall command at his disposal, but Quiritz is nothing to sneeze at. I think he could definitely deliver a decisive blow. Like the utility car down here. I'm going to say Pack 40. Pack 40 knocks out the utility car. Oh boy, and bazookas left over by the Major, I think. I want to see, maybe the Major. Hold on, yeah, Reslon saw the bazooka, unless they dropped it. But hey, that's a nice steal for the Austere if they can get it. Rifleman falls on back without capping the point. Again, giving a little bit more time where it's a little more pressure on KOES, although again, fuel once again going over to him, but the southern fuel at least being captured by Grenadiers who can just hide in this cover, or they can just decap the point. That works too. Again, don't want to be hit by the Stewart. Alas, I think the best killing unit on the KOES' team just died, which is unfortunate. Speaking of which, Panzer IV moving on in. Actually, something I'm really surprised about. I am honestly shocked he's not trying to gotten a an M1. Really surprised. Okay, there we go. I think he went airborne. I'm assuming he's going to be dropping in an M1 AT gun to try to help out with the fact he doesn't have an AT gun right now. He's getting a Jackson, but right now the Panzer IVs are just shredding his infantry and pushing back his armor. Okay, just kind of stopped the MG from retreating. That's cool, Sherman. Panzer IVs giving chase. They really want it dead and driving it back to base. Maybe they get a couple lucky shots, keeping the hit the mortar, hits the Sherman, keeping them at bay. Air support coming on in against the Sherman. Again, it's in the base, but it does not matter. Air support coming on in. Focusing on it. Only one plane, though. Hold on. He gets out before. Wait, second strike. Comes on in, kills the Sherman. Hey, guys, don't worry. He still has a vehicle crew. We can get some faster repairs. Still, nice kill right there with the Sherman. Excellent play. Excellent play indeed, Quiritz. Anyway, Grenadiers trying to grab the point. Another bazooka team. Hold on. Rear echelon there. Bazooka there. So I'm assuming one of them dropped it again. Or maybe one of the German units dropped it. But still very close in that regard. So very close battle, especially with a Jackson still in play. Jackson could rip and tear through the Panzer IVs. So has to be very careful through that. 222 still on the field. Really nice support. And looks like the Panzer IV is going after the American infantry on the right, driving them off, stopping them from advancing further. And yeah, resource-wise, looking a lot better for Quiritz. Getting an excellent shot on the riflemen. Driving them off right now. Echelon, minesweepers, just in case there's some S-mine or teller mines on the right-hand side. 50 cal, interestingly placed. The fire through that little area. Yes, it will fire through all the cardboard boxes and the barrels. That's fine. Stewart doing a nice slide right next to the building. This building's about to fall over. Same thing with this one. Whoever wins this, the owners will come back and be like, yes, the building's fine. And they just sneeze and it just falls over in front of them. Like, oh, man. Anyway, Lieutenant right there, again, with a Major and some AT. So they have a good AT force. So the Panzer IVs do still have to worry, but we have another Pack 40 in development, so it looks like Quiritz has a nice suite, ton of munitions right now, should be able to call in another air support strike in less than a minute. That's going to really put the Stewart and Jackson in a weird spot where they can't really do as much damage, because if things start looking bad, he just calls it in. Now, again, he could go down and get the anti-air half-track to try to shoot down the plane, but we'll see. Panzer IV is charging, but AT forces around the brush. Could get a nice suite of fire, but no, he's going to back on up. Maybe he doesn't want to turn the corner of the Panzer IV. Oh, Panzer IV's nice direct shot through. Hits the echelon squad. Drives it off, doing it very well. Very nice job. 2-2-2 opening fire on the rifleman, keeping them at bay, stopping them from constantly going for the fuel, though Jaeger squad lying in wait, waiting for that first strike. Again, camouflaged. Very nice. Panzer Grenadiers as well camouflaged right next to the main point. So, again, if they charge, they can kind of deal with it. They get a nice little bonus. Anyway, Rifleman trying to push on in. Doesn't know exactly how to go into that battle. Panzer IV as well right there. Missed the shot against the Rifleman. Lion Tree coming on over, hopefully to get that point. Jackson coming into mid. Hits the high wall, not the Panzer IV. Meanwhile, Panzer IV on the other side of that building hits the lieutenant, driving it off. Jackson gets an excellent shot on the Panzer IV, though not as much as you might expect. Whew. Holding firm. Panzer IV drives off the infantry. And by the way, the reason why I say not as much as you want to expect is like, oh, okay. Well, it's a small hit. All right, Pioneer Squad, quickly heal that and bring it back onto the battle in like 15 seconds. Thank you. Oh, we have a mortar carriage. That's an interesting strategy. You can't... All right, so you're having armor issues. Okay, I can deal with the armor. What am I dealing with? The infantry is still bugging me. Let me get the mortar carriage to hit him from afar. And you know what? Not a bad idea. This little sucker can just hit units, just go around the battlefield, especially with a player that's highly active, maneuvering small units. And we've seen KOES do so well with this light armor. It can start really putting a pounding into these Grenadiers, by the way. Oh, by the way, they only have 9 kills. I expected a lot more from these guys. But that's still the best unit he has with kills. No, Panzer IV is the most. Rifleman, hovering, 9 kills as well? Stuart has 11. I think that's the best. Yeah, it's the best unit right now with kills. Not a lot of high kill count units in this. Again, I don't know. Good thing or a bad thing, but again, probably just good use of retreating and getting the heck out of battle for both sides for that to be the case. Panzer IV trying to cover the pack, but it may be too late. Pack decrewed. Mortar might be the next target. Panzer Grenadiers, though, coming on in with Grenadiers as well as the support. Rifle grenade, possibly in the near future. Panzer IV, excellent shot on the Rifleman. Hold on, butter grenade on the retreat. Gets 2 models, very low, but and direct shot, but it looks like he misses. Air support coming on in. Don't know what he's going to hit, but they're all close together. Panzer IV is charging, goes after the Jackson, but he's still moving. It's going to reduce the effectiveness of that strike. Still hit. Panzer IV still charging. This is a big dive. Nice job blocking vision for the Panzer IV. Also trying to stop his advance. Might kill a Panzer IV in this scenario. Planes are outside the field. Nice shot on the Jackson, though. Gets a kill on the Panzer IV, but can they kill the Jackson? They do. Jackson is out. Stuart now in trouble. Although infantry is starting to slowly come on in. Where's that? Only a 50 cal over here. Stuart running back into the base. Luckily outside, I believe outside the air support's range. So he should be fine from that. And yeah, they're outside the field. They should be fine. Panzer IV driving back the MG, kicking a nice shot on the retreat. And a Stug is now in play. Looks like he got that to try to counteract the armor. And right now with the cutoff, KOES not getting a lot of resources and driven off. Oh my god. Such an interesting comeback. Quiritz just driving home the Americans back into his own base. I guarantee you Quiritz is like, how does it feel? It's after that first game. So interesting. KOES, though, not done yet. Again, not only does he have the mortar carriage and the Stuart, he got himself an M1. Still has a great fighting force of infantry left at his disposal. Double 50 cals. He still can come back, although Quiritz is bringing out another Panzer IV. This situation I was talking about, where it's like, you might have a smaller army, but you still got this. All the riflemen can snare. You have plenty of, you still have decent amount of munitions and fuel. If you want to get a Sherman, great. If you want to save it for a Jackson, great. You're still having enough there. You can still come back. It's not done after that battle. But KOES is still on the back foot. Quiritz is definitely on top right now. And, yeah, still getting a ton of resources. Again, I think that commander was the best thing to go. Even though he didn't get G43 rifles, I think that airstrike has been super, super helpful for counteracting. Now, KOES could counteract that by once again going with a captain and trying to go for that half track. There's a lot of resources, though, to put in for that. But it is something he could do. If he feels like he just wants to try to shoot it down. Or if he feels it's not necessary, he can just go and try to get armor and just, again, like he was doing, back out, just have more coverage with riflemen. But nice shot, though, with the mortar carriage, getting some excellent hits on the MG, driving it back home for some repairs. Not repairs, reinforcements. Panzer IV, what are you doing? He's coming in along the side. Is he going to kill the ambulance? What is he going for? He's going for the ambulance! Oh my god. He's killing medics and he gets the shot and the kill. Oh my god. And the vehicle crew's like, you bastard. Why'd you shoot a medic? And you have the guy from Hacksaw raging like, yeah, they do that all the time. Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers grabbing the points right next to his base. Excellent shot, though. That's going to definitely hurt KOES because that's more resources he has to put to healing his troops. Or he has them fight and they're at a weaker state. Again, not a bad strat. Geneva Convention, a little bit. But really, really great game here. Mortar carriage coming back in the mid. Firing. Pack 40, are you in range? No, he's actually backing up. He's like, no, I'm not dealing with that. No way. He's firing. I think he was trying to hit the mortar, maybe? Or maybe just generalizing. I don't know if he's... The Panzer IV is right there. He has to worry. Panzer IV is also right there. But again, KOES just needs to hit him good. He has his own airstrike, the P-47 strike that can do a lot of damage. But there is one catch. He does have an anti-air unit. 222 can shoot down planes at a good clip. So, we'll see how that does. Rifleman waiting. He's still waiting for it to get that healed up. He is getting himself a Jackson. He did save up. He's like, okay, got plenty of time, got plenty of resources. Just hold this point. Make sure don't go for the cutoff. As long as I hold that position and just keep, you know, inflicting some manpower losses on Quiritz, I'm okay. He's at max pop pretty much, or as high as he can possibly go. So I'll give credit where credit's due. Up, Stewart engaging, but the Pack 40's like, nah, go away. Where's the other Pack 40? Oh, they're both in mid. Okay. Flanking along the side could be big because, again, not a lot of, well, Panzer Grenadiers, not a lot of AT there. Oh, no, sorry. They have 2 bazookas. All right, Pioneers with 2 bazookas. Sure. Perfect AT unit, the Pioneer. Anyway, mortar carriage on standby. Jackson moving on in with another M1 dropping. Again, I'm assuming he's just trying to make himself suit up. And you know what? I think he's gonna just sacrifice thing. At the very least, it'll be for a good cause if you kind of use it to recrew it. But we'll see. But 222 backing on up. Pack 40 on standby with the Panzer IV. Jaeger squad. Again, love how he has all these squads waiting, just waiting to pounce, and he has enough for an airstrike too. So that's the thing KOES has to worry about, is that strike. Ever so slightly. But still, Quiritz is not having that much damage as he's slowly gearing back up. Is that American mortar over here? Alright, mortar over here if you want to grab that too. But slowly, but oh, Jackson, excellent shot on the Panzer IV. Driving it back. Pack 40 though, outside of the range. Jackson misses, low close up. Rifleman pushing on the Jaeger squad along the right-hand side. With the 50 cal. I wonder if he's just trying to lure him in. That could be risky because of the airstrike, but still. If he used the airstrike, he doesn't have a lot of munitions left for like Faust or anything like that, but I don't know if he wants that, but still. Something to take in mind. M1 moving on in. Does have to worry about infantry kind of popping in. Oh, never mind. Mortar carriage is there. And Rifleman the card. Very nice to see. Anyway, 222 advancing. Oh, he's trying to hit the Pack 40 with it. Again, I love how KOES is taking his time. He's just like, okay, what do I need to do? That being said, Quiritz, if he loses something now, has enough resources, he can deploy it. So really, KOES needs to not only just take out the units, but take out enough to where it hurts his Quiritz reserves. And burns them. Wait, he can't see that, right? No, he can't. So he's firing through the hedge. Really excellent shot through there. Now the M1's like, all right, I can do it. Nope, I can't do it too. Dang it. Jackson's also trying. He's having some issues. All right. Having some small issues there. Finally fired. Oh, no, he's off. Long range. But again, the one thing to note is now we're starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, you're getting in a position where almost like 2.5, 3 times the VP totalage. So you're going to make, I'm assuming KOES is going to be making a move soon. I wouldn't say immediately, but I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move soon. But the mortar, as well as now anticipating on in. I love how it's just a waiting game. It's like tension building. Who's going to make the first move? Panzer IV is trying to. Hits the lieutenant. Jackson might return fire. Looks like he's gearing up. Excellent shot. Rear armor shot as well on it. Scout car moving on in, again, just for sights. Does have some decent range, as you can see. He has quite a number of targets in his disposal, whereas the American, well, that was a bad unit to pick. Hold on. There we go. As far as he can only see over here. So you can kind of see, like, what each side can only see. And that's kind of scary. Being always in Code 2 is always scared to be like, okay, what's over there? Building goes down, so, well, no more cover from that. 50 cal could always target the 222, which, again, providing sight. Really good unit to have. Jackson getting some heals. He's gearing up. He's waiting. P4. Oh, he's also geared. You know what? He probably saved up for the P47s, too. Stu firing pop shots at the mortar carriage, slowly driving that back. And again, I love Quiritz just being very cautious. Like, I don't need to push. Oh, okay, there goes that infrastructure. I don't need to push. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to burn him down and slowly drive him down with my superior recon and hopefully mortar fire. All right. Mortar carriage, very close to Vet 1. And just waiting. It's the waiting game of who's going to make the first move. Panzer, honestly, Quiritz might. He honestly might just because of the amount of resources he has. Where KOES has been built, like, using everything he has to build up. It's just one of those things. And, yeah, it's just one of those things that it's just like... how do I say this? Like, if he loses both, let's say Panzer IVs, he's fine. Alright, taking a shot but misses. Stewart moving up, but takes a double shot. P47's inbound. It's going to hit the Stug, I believe. Oh, and the Stuka close air support. It's a double whammy. Hold on. I don't think they're targeting anything. P47. Oh, they're hitting the Jackson. And KOES drops. Oh, man. The air support went for him. By the way, absolutely love the angle of that, man. That's amazing. But, yeah, he lost to Jackson in one fall swoop. He pushed right into the Pack 40, and the Panzer IV quickly dealt with it with the air support. Stewart got driven back to base for repairs. I don't think he wanted to engage, but he flinched, and that's it. And, yeah, you're absolutely right. 222 shot the planes. We can see here. No, actually, wait, did he? Hold on. Is the plane going down as I speak? Like, is there a falling plane in the sky? I don't see it. No, P47s were coming on in on the 222, I think, or the Panzer IV. Whatever the case may be, they were coming in now. But anyway, point of the matter is, did not help in time, and KOES is out. And Quiritz coming back with a nice comeback win. 2 games in a row after the first defeat. And moves on. Unfortunately, with 1 life remaining, KOES is removed. And that's going to be it. That's game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the after-action report at this. It's going to be so interesting to see. Let's see how each side did, shall we? Again, fantastic game. KOES, waiting. Blinked. Unfortunately, in a situation where it was absolutely not suitable for his Jackson and got definitely pushed back. So now let's see how they did. Quiritz got more damage, absolutely. Definitely, again, had more issues with the early American Allied play and got driven. KOES, I thought was doing very well early on. Again, I'll double check the graph. But not as many kills. And honestly, let's see. Rifleman, 30 kills. He never lost the Rifleman squad. I'll give full credit where credit's due. Let's see. That M8, I want to say, got like 11 or 12 kills. It was on point. I think he got the highest kills. So that M8 got like, oh god, was it like 13% of the overall kills? Pack gun 10,000, 3 vehicles destroyed for a Panzer IV. Yeah, pretty good. Let me double check the graphs. So army value, again, it was all, like, Quiritz was always down. KOES had a good top, especially early on. He did extremely well with that light armor. And then as soon as that Panzer IV came out, it started to change a little bit, started to go back and forth. And then one decisive strike. And KOES lost a good chunk of his armor. And again, a nice raid with the Panzer IV as well. Resources, again, it's neck and neck. Quiritz, again, do a little better. But early on, you can see here where KOES was just trying to build back up his army. Quiritz was just building and building and building. And then points held, yeah, except for a little portion early on. For the good chunk, where Quiritz was pushing before the light armor. When the light armor was in play, for the most part, KOES was on top. And then it started changing. And then it just became just a bigger and bigger hill for KOES to climb, and he couldn't. It was very, very difficult. But again, fantastic game with these guys. Let me be 100% clear. Stern Panther, thank you very much. Thank you and the mods for keeping everything on the back end awesome, with keeping the smooth for all the casters, make sure that everything is as the integrity is great, making sure that everything is run as smoothly as possible. So thank you guys so very much for that. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Joey G240, Anton, Bishara, Ion, PyroShark, Ace, and Jakub. Seriously guys, thank you so much for your amazing support, especially over the past month. Been through a lot of personal hurdles, but you guys make it a little easier knowing that you guys support me. And same thing with the patrons down below. But this has been Greyshot and his amazing patrons, and I'll see all of you next time.